Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and my second video where I'm going to be talking about online journaling. So from my first video I kind of talked about doing this a bit more often and kind of getting it more into my routine, and I've been doing it for a month now and I found it super useful. So I thought that it might be good to kind of share it with you guys and I guess recommend you to do it. So what I'm going to do is kind of just walk through what the app is, how you journal, and then show you kind of how you can track your progress with it. So I first came across it when another I think a YouTuber mentioned it, and she said how it had made a huge difference in her life. And initially she said it was free, but it's not. It's free for like 7 days, and after that you have to pay. But then I was like, okay, fine, like I'll just pay whatever. But to be honest, it was worth it. So I wouldn't kind of say don't pay, but do the 7-day free trial and then decide if you think it's worth it. And then you can do whatever you want with it. So basically, the good thing with Reflectly is it's an online journal on your phone, and then it also uses a bit of AI. So they call it AI because it kind of is supposed to predict, not predict your behavior, but basically monitor your behavior. And the idea behind doing that is that the more information that you put in it, the more you're able to understand your patterns. So kind of what's making you happy, what's making you upset, what's making you anxious. The good thing about that is that you basically have a track of how you've been feeling over a week. The bad thing, I guess, is that you kind of have to keep updating your mood, and you have to keep updating how you're feeling, and you have to keep it consistent. So you ideally want to update it when you're feeling good as well as when you're feeling bad. Otherwise, if you journal only when you're feeling bad, then your kind of end of the week report basically just says you've had a horrible week, whereas realistically that might not actually reflect how your week's been going. So the best thing I think about Reflectly is that it's quite easy. So say for example, if you're in a situation where you said, you know what, I think writing down my thoughts would really help me, what you end up doing is kind of opening the app quickly, doing a mood check-in, quickly kind of like pick what emotions that you're feeling. There's a set of emotions, and then just give it a title and then write down your feelings, and kind of you write down what your triggers were, what made you feel happy, what made you feel uncomfortable, what made you feel anxious. And then it doesn't have to be a huge description, but I think the whole idea behind doing that is to basically allow you to express how you're feeling. And I think it's different for everyone. Some people find it useful, some people don't. I initially was one of the type of people who didn't really find it useful, but I think once I did it, I thought, oh, okay, this is actually quite good. And especially when you feel a bit anxious and you feel like, oh, like whether it's work, whether it's any relationship problems, whether it's like friendships or any situation, if you feel like writing your feelings down kind of helps ground you or kind of like reduces your anxiety, it's super helpful and it's just easy to do. And I think the best thing about it is that you have a track of it. So it's on my phone. I can literally open it whenever I want. I can close it whenever I want. I don't need to physically go around writing it in a book. And then even if I'm out and about and I kind of want to do like a mood check-in, I can do that. The second thing, which is actually quite good about the app, is basically they do these daily quotes, which are super good because as you're kind of like going along the day, you'll randomly get a quote pop up, and it's motivational, or it kind of like helps refocus you, which without sounding cringe, it can actually be quite helpful because it's like a nice reminder that you keep getting. And the third thing, which I think is really good, is you can actually do your mood check-ins through voice notes. So effectively what you have to do is pretty much just select that you want to do a mood check-in, write down that you kind of want to, I guess, so you basically select that you want to do a mood check-in, do a voice note of it. So you basically say how you're feeling, what's been going on in your mind, and then it kind of just turns that audio into a note. So really you can be out and about if you're going essential shopping, or if you're doing whatever you want. If you're literally just going around in the garden, there's literally nothing to do nowadays, and kind of just write down what your mood is, and as in like speak what your mood is, and then it writes it down itself. And I thought that was super helpful because sometimes you're just like, oh my god, I want to write down how I'm feeling, but I don't actually want to go through the effort of selecting a title, kind of writing down everything. With kind of these audio mood check-ins, you kind of just do a quick voice note. It'll get that kind of mood down, that feeling down. And then the good thing is, like, in a day, 2 days, you can kind of track what was triggering you or what was making you happy. And I found that really good because what it ended up doing, I did it for 7 days consecutively, and then it said that you need to kind of unlock at I think 5 days. It says you need to do 2 more days of journaling in order to unlock your weekly progress report. And I did that, and then my weekly progress report at that point, obviously the caveat here is that the more information you put in it, the better report that you're going to get. But at that point, my kind of weekly report was basically saying that I was getting frustrated because I was working a lot, but I didn't have anything else going on the side. So it kind of tells you what emotions you were feeling. And I think in order to kind of change how you're feeling a lot of the times and understand your own patterns and behaviors, you need to know like what your triggers are. So in that sense, I thought it was really helpful. Which I guess standard journaling won't necessarily do. Like you write it down, you do a new page, you do a new page. Whereas with this, you kind of get to monitor your behaviors and actually do something about it. So that was super useful. I'm going to put a link to that app in my bio. So I guess you can use that. Give it a shot. Let me know how you feel about it. And yeah, I think obviously third lockdown is super difficult. Everyone's working, everyone's trying to find other stuff to do. So actually having almost like an app that you can use to help you and like help gather your thoughts. A lot of the times when you feel like, something is triggering you, or you feel like, even if you're having a good time, like you just say, okay, I really appreciate this in my life. And that's really good as well, because it doesn't always have to be like, oh, dear diary, like I got bullied today, or dear diary, like this happened, blah blah. That's really specific. It can literally just be something like, I spent time with my family, I watched a YouTube video, I watched something on Netflix, and I found it really nice, I found it really relaxing, or I did a bit of painting. And what you end up doing is like building your own profile and getting an understanding of what behaviors help you and what behaviors you kind of want to continue, and where you're relaxing or where you're consistently in a bad mood or working too much. So yeah, I think it's basically what you make out of it. It's pretty much up to you how, I guess, useful you find it. So the more you use it, the more information it will have, the better kind of responses you'll get. The less you use it, the more limited it will be in terms of its use. But I definitely recommend kind of just downloading it, doing a quick trial, seeing how you feel. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, there's no harm done. Like you can try something else. But I think definitely the kind of we're so like deprived of social activity, so I think you learn a lot more about your behaviors, which I've been doing recently. So for example, I'm just like, if I don't go for a daily walk, I just feel really kind of trapped, and I'm just like, I need to go for a walk, or I need to kind of do something, and I need to kind of create a routine. And I think that's what it really helped me do, because I was able to understand that I was just working, I didn't have anything else going on, so naturally it was affecting my mood. And yeah, it's super good, and it's super kind of useful to do something like that, especially now. But yeah, I definitely recommend you guys giving it a shot. Let me know what you think of it. And I think a few people replied to my last video just saying that it really helped them, and that was super nice. I think it's really encouraging knowing that A, people are watching it, and B, I guess people are finding it useful, because I think for me, the more kind of, this is new to me as well, because I never used to, I guess, like focus on myself, but I think lockdowns kind of really allowed me to spend a bit of time on like looking inwards and seeing I guess what else I can do to like grow and develop and understand my own behaviors. So super useful. If you do try it, let me know how it goes. If you don't like it, let me know why you don't like it. I'm not getting paid for this, so deep down I don't really care, but if you want to do it and it benefits you, like do it, because it really helped me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will probably be back with something else. Maybe I might cook something in the next one, I don't know. But yeah, take care of yourselves. Thank you. So I thought I'd just quickly show the process of actually using the app. So that's like the first screen that comes up, which is like your weekly progress. And then it just breaks down your moods and how you're feeling. That's a list of quotes that come up. You can select quite a few, but they're good. You get like reminders throughout the day of different stuff that's going on, so that's nice. And then that's pretty much the process of the online journaling. So you generally pick what mood you were feeling, what activity you were doing that made you feel that way, and then it just goes down to what feelings you had when you were doing them. It seems like a bit of a long process, but it's worth it in the end. And then you kind of just write down what activity you did, how you felt, what I guess you'd want to repeat again, and what you wouldn't want to do. And doing this often kind of contribute to the kind of progress report that you have in the end. I just did a quick one for this vlog. I'm not going to show you all the ones that I have because that's personal and I don't know you like that. And once I finish doing this, it will pretty much come back in the list of the rest of the entries that I've got, and you can compare them over time. So it'll date them, and then it will ask you for like daily reminders. So this one's asking me about my happiness. That one's about a book that I read. And then once you've done that, that will basically be what your report looks like for a month, and you can compare it to the last month as well, which I think is pretty good. And then finally, that's basically your mood breakdown.